I'm finally here. I finally just got home from work. The trailer for season 2 is going to drop today, and I intentionally didn't watch it because I wanted to capture myself on camera watching it. I'm excited as balls. I've been waiting for this one. I'll finally going to watch this trailer.
I'm looking for someone.
Common story around here.
Someone you care about or someone you hate?
Oh, what a great question. What say you, Miss McLean?
Why would my dad go to Las Vegas?
You want to know why the world ended? It started here with one man.
It's all over, but the cry.
Cooper Howard, star of the silver screen.
And no,
like yourself, I am the very best at what I do.
but
And what I do is I know everything. I know there's a war coming. The bombs will only be the beginning. My concern is that you would do just about anything to save your family. I think you are actually quite a violent man. You just don't want to kill me yet.
Let's get lucky, shall we?
I defer to you about what to do in this situation.
There you have it. My very first look at the season 2 first trailer for Fallout. This is my most anticipated anything this entire year, even above any games. This is the most thing I am hyped for. First trailer for season 1 came out, taken aback because it looked amazing in terms of how they straight up just nailed the aesthetic and world of the game. So that was a lot of the big reason why the first trailer, I was like, oh man, they're getting it. So happy. And I probably laughed a few times just because I was like, this is, oh my god, this looks so good. This is exactly what I wanted. And this is more of the same. And I wasn't really any surprises, and unfortunately I did spoil something for myself earlier today by accident when I just saw a random post on Facebook that said the word Deathclaw in the trailer, and I was like, oh shit, I wish I hadn't seen that. I'm not surprised that there was a Deathclaw, but it's so hard to see in the trailer that I'm going to lighten it in this edit so you can see it better. But I honestly could not make it out if we were looking straight into its face or the side of its face. So I'll lighten that up as best I can when I get to that part. And I'll have a nice big still, and we can go in on it and analyze it, because I'm about to analyze every single frame of this trailer.
Thou shalt get sidetracked by bullshit every goddamn time.
Without further ado, don't forget to take a minute to like and subscribe. It really helps me out and it goes a long way. Let's do this. Like fuck.
I'm looking for someone.
Looking for someone. We obviously know who that is, or we should. If you watched last season, she means her dad, Hank McLean. and she is searching for him. That is her main quest in this season. See Lucy walking along the desert, the cracked desert street with the ghoul far ahead. So what is that? Is that some type of sign that she is walking with him? But she still thinks he's just kind of nasty and doesn't like being around him. But they're definitely going to start getting closer this season. I can just see that. And I'm looking forward to seeing that relationship develop.
Common story around here. Someone you care about or someone you hate?
Oh, what a great question.
Here we have Lucy and the ghoul in some type of community. Are they going to make up another name like they did in season 1? Or will it be named after a community from any of the games like Megaton or something? But it looks like they're kind of out in the middle of the desert. But they're here probably just for a stopover, and someone we don't see asks who Lucy is looking for, someone she likes or she hates. There's a moment of Lucy trying to decide, all right, does she love or hate her father right now? She doesn't know. And the ghoul seems to just be eating this up. Maybe he just likes watching someone else be as tormented as he is. I definitely think that he will starting to soften up this season, as after still being just like in season 1, where being around the ghoul, Lucy became way more tougher and violent and she actually killed some people. So I'm wondering maybe this season it'll be the opposite, and some of Lucy's innocent softness or just the way her personality is naturally might rub off on him.
What say you, Miss McClan?
Why would my dad go to Las Vegas?
So the ghoul is on the edge of his seat, wondering what Lucy's answer will be, if she loves or she hates. She'll probably just not even really answer the question to whoever this person is. I doubt it'll be someone we will see again after whatever episode this happens in, likely the very first episode as they make their way to New Vegas.
You want to know why the world ended? It started here with one man.
How season 1 ended with Lucy still heading towards Vegas, and she does ask the ghoul why would her dad go there, or why does he? The ghoul is thinking that he's going to see Mr. House. The ghoul is referring to when he says it all started with one man. So is Hank going to New Vegas, meet up with Mr. House? They likely may have met each other years ago when Hank was still really young at Vault-Tec. That could have been something.
It's all over, but the cry.
Cooper Howard, star of the silver screen.
As we look at New Vegas from afar and Lucy and the ghoul are heading off, Lucy is still following behind the ghoul with trepidation. But as we transition over to the past version of New Vegas, or I guess back then it was called Las Vegas, then the song that plays during the trailer, which I totally didn't look up and knew is the Ink Spots. It's All Over But the Crying is the name of the song. That is the song you hear over the trailer, and I definitely 100% just knew that without having to look it up at all. But Cooper does not look all that excited to be in New Vegas. See, the funny thing is I keep calling it New Vegas, even though in this moment it's Lost. I'm just gonna run with it. But Cooper doesn't look all that excited to be in Las Vegas. Maybe he's been here before and was never a fan, or he always goes there and gets into trouble, or maybe he's there for reasons he doesn't want to be, or maybe he's being forced to go there. Why does he need to go to Las Vegas to talk with Mr. House? Does Mr. House want him to do something that he doesn't want to? Is he being forced to do something he doesn't want to? The look on his face is kind of almost suggesting that he's being forced to do something.
Like yourself, I am the very best at what I do.
But
And what I do.
There's a lot going on in this room as I'm looking at it, and when you zoom in on certain spots, you can see that, first off, as you can see, the first thing worth noting is to Lucy's right is there's a little giddy up buttercup that actually was in the Fallout 4 games. Little toy was not in the New Vegas game, so see, they're not completely sticking to one game for anything in particular. They're using all pieces of the games, which is really the only good way to do it when you're kind of adapting a series and not a specific game. Also to her left on top of the desk is a big old box, Sugar Bombs, which is a super frosty, cereal that's in like all the games, but the box design here is exactly like it is in New Vegas. Sugar bombs are a cereal, so they gave her a box of cereal, but didn't give her any milk or a bowl. Or but the way that she's reacting when getting out of bed, she kind of has this "where the F am I? How did I get here?" kind of look on her face. The background kind of looks similar to the fake kind of projected background they had in season 1. Looking over to Lucy's left on the other table, but next to that, that looks like it could be a mini projector. That's kind of what I'm guessing, or maybe it's just a hairdryer. I can't tell, because now I'm wondering if the background behind Lucy is giant wallpaper, or is it being projected like similar to the vault. And then beyond side table there is a yellow dress. It looks like there might actually be blood on the lower part of it. But what that yellow dress is doing there, I don't know. Is that something Lucy's gonna have to wear if she's being forced to wear this dress? Because it almost looks like she woke up in this room and didn't know how she got there. Ghoul and Lucy get to New Vegas. Do they get captured by Robert House or someone else? Judging how nice the room looks, likely the Robert House, but why is there a yellow half-bloody dress? For a second there, I thought it might have been Lucy's wedding dress. That wedding dress did get bloody. And back over to Lucy's is what looks like a radio, a green radio, and then next to that, it's hard to make out, but it could be a hot plate, although in New Vegas, the hot plate looks way different. In Fallout 4 and 76, it kind of just looks like that. It looks longer than what a hot plate is. A hot plate in the games is just kind of one small single burner. It's not like a double one. This could be a double hot plate, or I could be completely wrong and it's something else. And now with the wider shot looking, that does look like there's a projector, some type of projector screen behind Lucy with the projector in the corner. Putting that there, maybe they put various backgrounds up. Victor from Fallout New Vegas, a character you meet pretty early on in the game, a Securitron as they're called. And again, it looks exactly like the game, even down to the face. It looks like they just took it from the games, like they didn't even like draw it again. It looks exactly like it does in the games. In the background, you can see the ghoul just kind of standing there looking at him. There's a lot going on just around the ghoul. Just behind his head on the wall, you can see a big poster there. A poster to sign up, to encourage people to sign up to the New California Republic, or the NCR. Right below that it says sign up now. It's pretty hard to see. It's pretty light. This room is just kind of a mess though. Like, is it an office? What is the ghoul doing here? This wouldn't even be New Vegas yet, I believe. This would be somewhere earlier on. In the games, Victor is like an NPC that you meet earlier on, like one of the first ones you meet. And then you kind of just run into him for the rest of the game. Every now and then he'll just show up.
Howdy, partner.
The full name is Doc Mitchell Victor. I totally know all these things and I'm not looking up on the Fallout wiki. His full name is Doc Mike Mitchell Victor. And now with a closer look at Victor again, and I tried to lighten it just to get any more detail, but even the outline looks pretty accurate. Again, the face is just dead on bang, like they just used the exact same design. But it also has the little colorful color pad that's on his stomach. And I forget if those are buttons that he actually uses, or is it just there to flash and look fancy.
But
And what I do is I know everything.
We get our first look at Mr. House. We hear him speaking first, but we also see his huge computer panel that he uses all the time, kind of obsessively. As in, this is happening in a flashback. So yes, of course, this is the human version of him, but later on, if Mr. House is still around, and I believe he will be, but he'll be the big gigantic computer system. Well, we get a good look at the green screen. On that big screen that he's sitting right next to, it's various security angles from casinos. He straight up just watches the security cameras himself. Perhaps he just is something he does obsessively on his own, outside of the actual security people who do that. Or maybe he's that much of a control. He controls every single part of the casinos that he owns. Why would he have this gigantic TV screen with all these screens on it, and there's many screens on each side as well? Right below where Mr. House is sitting, there's more screens. And then when you look closer to Mr. House right at the computer desk, there's several more screens around him, all with that same similar green and black color design that they have in the games. This could be him monitoring other things that are completely outside of the casino. He seems like someone who would obsessively monitor everything that he has any part of in terms of businesses or whatnot. In the wider view, you can see that he has a pretty great view of all of Las Vegas from his penthouse suite or wherever he is, because it looks like he's in a nice gigantic suite of some sort. Justin Theroux is now playing Robert House. It was played by a different actor last season, Rafi Silver, who I'm not really familiar with, but that was his name. But why did they choose to switch? I believe this would be around the same time Cooper was in when he was still a human being in his flashback. This looks like it would be around the exact same time anyways, so why did they completely switch to a different actor? Kind of looks similar, but now it's Justin Theroux. That does make more sense. I think it would be better to have someone who's like known to play Mr. House. But now looking at it, I could see just above that it has the little sections that the Pip-Boy has that you can switch to all along. And that's what it looks like. Maybe that's his own personal Pip-Boy, but instead of it being on his wrist, it's a gigantic computer system. As we see that Mr. House is talking to Cooper, who looks kind of disgusted. He has this kind of disgusted look on his face. Perhaps he's disgusted with Mr. House as a person. Perhaps, like I said, he may be being forced to be there to deal with him. Then right behind Cooper to his right, like trophies or statues and some books. He's a world traveler and he's gotten all types of artifacts. House says to him that he knows everything. What does he mean by that though? Does he mean he knows everything in regards to Cooper? Or does Mr. House just mean he knows everything as in I am the smartest man in the entire world and I know everything type of way? You could almost take it either way.
I know there's a war coming.
We get a top-down view of something that we're not exactly sure what it is just yet. Large commanding landing platform on top, huge floating structure. Here we have a top-down view of a vertibird. It almost looks like it's either docking, flying upwards into or it just got released and it fell out, or it's just kind of floating along as a security or whatnot. And the structure I was just referring to is the Pridwind, which is the floating aircraft used by the Brotherhood of Steel in Fallout 4. So again, they're mixing and matching the stories and the lore from different games that just work for what they're trying to do. The Pridwind is a floating blimp aircraft by the Brotherhood of Steel. It's almost exactly the same design. It's just about exactly bang on, with a slightly little difference of there being a command station or a place to land on the top of as we saw earlier in the previous shot. Something they added for this perhaps is just a landing pad for the commander of the Pridwind, if it's the same person. In the show, the name of the Elder for season 1 was Elder Cleric Quintus. So will that be the same person who in the Pridwind? Very likely, as it looks like
The bombs will only be the beginning.
the very next shot we see Maximus, and he's not looking too happy. Perhaps he feels guilty about how season 1 ended, where he took responsibility for someone else's death. He didn't straight up said he didn't do it, but annoyingly he kind of just didn't say that he didn't do it. I was like, oh come on man, I just started liking you and now you do something dumb. And then over all that, you can still hear Mr. House talking, saying that the bombs will only be the beginning. So that sounds pretty dreadful what he means by that. It's like is he planning that this is going to happen, or he's just waiting for a war to break out, then he could finally have a reason to use all these nukes that he has somewhere? That's kind of almost what it sounds like. I haven't played New Vegas in a long time, so I don't remember the story. Now they're mixing and matching bits and pieces. Like they have the Pridwind from Fallout 4 and other things from Fallout 4. So it seems like they're still using a lot of all the designs from 4 and not any other of the other games. Here and there they'll use something that's similar, like the sugar bombs were the same design as sugar bombs in New Vegas. Aesthetically, the armor, the Pridwind, and all those things, and the vertibirds are all designed after Fallout 4. In the next shot, we see Maximus again with some new companion, new friend, someone who seems pretty excited. And they're both wearing bombers now, so perhaps Maximus is become a pilot or something. Like maybe Maximus is getting lessons on how to fly a vertibird. Now I'm starting to wonder, okay, maybe after the end of season 1, He didn't like how it worked out being in the power armor. Maybe he doesn't want us being the power armor now after all the bad things that happened in it. Perhaps he's getting training to be a pilot. Where he is in the hierarchy, he can't wear the power armor yet, so maybe wearing it to them was considered a sin or some sort, and this is his punishment. You can't go out anymore, you have to just fly vertebrates. Or maybe he chose to fly the vertebrates because he doesn't want to go on the ground anymore. The next shot, we get a little glimpse of some type of battle or war going on. It's almost hard to make out. I tried to lighten it as best I could, but it almost seems like they're back in what used to be LA, or it's pretty hard to tell, but it almost kind of looks like it'd be part of LA, but if it was, it'd be more lit up. In the end of last season, they essentially lit everything up with cold fusion. What the doctor was bringing across New Vegas, that ultimately Lucy ended up bringing it over, or someone else did. And here it looks like Lucy is with the Caesar's Legion, one of the other factions that are in New Vegas. But is she with them willingly, or did she get captured? It's hard to say but is she there willingly? Did they capture her? But as you can see, someone's wearing the armor similar to the Caesar's Legion, or as they just call it, the Legion. And they're wearing the red and the shoulder pads, which are kind of like the common armor and all type of post-apocalyptic sci-fi stuff these days. And here we see the Caesar's Legion cheering along with a leader in front of them. And who that leader is exactly, I'm not sure, but it looks like they're wearing a wreath around their head and a lot more stylish and sexy armor. But who is this person? From behind, it kind of looks like Sean William Scott, which is a weird thing to say. Could it be Macaulay Culkin's character? He's in an unknown character still. I've never seen any pictures from the back of his head, but if you look at the front of his head, it doesn't match. But at the same time, when I was reading online about his mysterious character, they said it was more of a wacky and a scientist. He said a wacky, smart person. So a scientist type character, which kind of just makes sense. Who Macaulay Culkin is as an actor. So I don't think this is him. It could be, but I think it's somebody else. And for whatever reason, I just keep thinking it's Sean William Scott, who was Stifler from the American Pie movies, in case you didn't know.
My concern is that you would do just about anything to save your family.
In the next shot, the ghoul has just blown someone's head off with a shotgun. Who or why, don't know yet, but directly behind him, towering over him, is Dinky the T-Rex, is in the town of Novak. So the design is just like it is in the games as usual. Cooper Howard's wife, Barb Howard, looking rather fishy with the way this is giving me the vibes that through the window, she's actually looking at Cooper, and they're not doing too good right now. Cooper's probably not very happy with her after learning what she was talking about in season 1 when he was listening in, and that could have resulted into a big blowout between them. I don't know, but then he would have to reveal that he was spying on her, basically. But this looks like things aren't good between her and Cooper. And there was almost something alluding that they might actually be separated right now, or temporarily separated, maybe not divorced, but there's vibes that's telling me that perhaps they are not doing well and they might actually be separated. Either way, she's looking pretty fishy in this moment here, where she's probably about to have another conference where she decides that people are going to die. The next image is of Cooper hugging his daughter, Janie. And this is what makes me think that perhaps they're not doing too well or separated. Is she hugging him because they just met up, because he only gets to see her every now and then? I don't think it's gone that far, but it looks like they're living in some type of residential area. But Cooper does not have a good look on his face in terms of what he's looking at, which is directly behind them, which is that big billboard of him with his thumbs up. And he has this look on his face of like, they didn't tell me they were going to do that. Or he didn't know that he's become the poster boy for something that he doesn't believe in anymore. Something that he once believed in, but not anymore.
I think you are actually quite a violent man. You just don't want to kill me.
This shot here is kind of weird because we see Cooper riding on some type of bull, but it's in the shape of of a nuke. And he's in the Lucky 38, as you can see, the large structure that's always within view when you look at New Vegas. But why is he here riding on this? He looks like he's having fun. And earlier he didn't look like he was having fun. He had a sour look on his face, like he didn't want to be in Vegas. But could this be a flashback within the flashback of him reminiscing of why he doesn't like Vegas and doesn't want to go back there? Because every time he does stupid shit like ride a nuke in front of people as he's hammered. As Mr. House just finishes saying that he thinks he's a violent man, so what is he referring to? Is he trying to coax Cooper into doing something? Is he just saying, yeah, you look like you're a chill guy, but deep down you're very violent? And of course, later on, when he becomes a ghoul, he becomes extremely violent and he murders lots of people. So is this Mr. House just picking up something about his character that he can just see? Does Cooper do something violent before or after this moment? Is he here? Is he there in Vegas seeing Mr. Howard because he did something violent or dumb or rash? Who knows? But I think it's just Mr. House analyzing him based on his own astuteness. As Mr. House is a brilliant guy. He's just kind of insane, as most brilliant rich people are. Someone in power armor shooting at an attacking ghoul, and when you look closer, you'll see that it has the scar on it from the Yao Guai in season 1, and this was the armor that Maximus was wearing, but I have a feeling that's not Maximus in there. Perhaps it is, but I'm getting a feeling that maybe Maximus doesn't want to put the armor back on because it ended up not being all it cracked up to be for him. That is me just guessing once again. And here we see Hank, who looks like he's made it his way back to New Vegas and is looking for a Vault-Tec facility, and it seems like he has found him, unless that is not him in the next shot. It's possible that's not him in the next shot, as from that angle it's hard to see if he's wearing a helmet or not. But we see a nice big wide shot of the Vault-Tec facility, and it looks just like in the games as well, even with the winding stairs. And he's looking up at it, and there's some satellite dishes nearby. But from the angle that they're shooting this, it's hard to tell if whoever that is wearing a helmet or not. When I look a little closer, it looks similar to those rings or ridges that are right behind Hank's head, but there's no helmet there, so I'm pretty sure this is Hank. Why does he want to go to a Vault-Tec facility? Will it even be active? Will there be anybody in there, or will it be completely abandoned? And here we get a flashback again of Cooper in the power armor days when he was with the Brother of Steel. So how far back are we now? Farther back than the actor Cooper Howard. This would be pre-actor Cooper Howard, but now I'm wondering if maybe he, enlisted anyways, regardless if he's being an actor or not. But this could be before he even was an actor. This could be during. But I barely recall him talking about it in the last season, other than the fact that he knew about the weakness underneath the armor plate or something. But he hinted at the fact that he was with them, but he didn't go into specifics for how long he was there. But he left pretty disillusioned, just kind of like how Maximus feels right now.
Let's get lucky, shall we?
There we have a shot of what looks like probably the ghoul grabbing a grenade off someone's belt. Is it that he got ambushed somewhere? Was he ambushing someone else? It kind of just looks like he did it. It looks like he just kind of went for it in the moment and ended up taking out a couple of people based on the shot coming up, wide shot coming up next. And this looks like the companion shot to the image of the ghoul grabbing a grenade. Maybe he didn't grab it and just unhooked it. Maybe he just pulled the pin and left it because as this person explodes. But as you can see, there's 5 dead people around him, and they're at some type of old hotel. Novak, I guess. This would be Novak's hotel pool with a lot of junk in it. Looks like a barbecue right there. So maybe someone lives down here, or at least barbecues, but there's junk everywhere, and there's 5 dead raiders, I guess, just lying around. And the ghoul took them all out, or maybe Lucy took 1 or 2 out from her perch inside Dinky's mouth, which is not a phrase I ever thought I'd be saying. And here we have the ghoul tipping his hat as blood and guts rains around him as he just blew some person up as they fell into the pool. And of course, the makeup is still just as awesome as it was last season. I'm assuming they made some improvements somehow in terms of how it works, or if it'll be less torturous for Mr. Goggins to wear it, as it's been reported that on set he had sweat coming out of his eye holes and people thought he was crying. But I'm hoping they managed to make it more comfortable for Mr. Goggins, who deserves it after his Emmy-nominated performance from last season. And I fucking adore Walton Goggins in this show. And who doesn't effing love Walton Goggins? If you don't like Walton Goggins, you are just straight up dead inside, okay? You're dead inside. Then Lucy is up inside the mouth of Dinky, and she looks pretty unsure, like perhaps she doesn't shoot anyone and she's too afraid to, or she's kind of not in that, she's not that much of a killer yet that she would just pick someone off from a vantage point like that. And then we have Dogmeat sitting right next to her, barking. And what is Dogmeat up to right now? Is Dogmeat offering any assistance whatsoever, or is just a companion right now? Mr. John Daly reprising his role as the snake oil salesman from season 1, and I really liked him in this role. I'm not a John Daly fan, but I've always just been like pretty whatever about him. Like, I guess he's a comedian, but I never found him all that funny. But in this show, he's great. And he was actually also in Twisted Metal and played a character named the Emperor, and he's actually really great. So he seems to do really well with character roles. I think he should keep doing that instead of just kind of playing a funnier version of himself. But he sniffs a flower and says, "Let's get lucky," hinting at the fact that he's likely heading to New Vegas. He's definitely an opportunist, and wherever there's a business opportunity available to him, so then we have this Matrix style shot almost of the ghoul falling out of a building. What building exactly? So he's falling out the window of the Wrangler Casino, but that's a dirty old, like, seems to have been kicked or punched or whatever out the window of the Wrangler Casino, or the Atomic, or the full name from New Vegas. This is a casino from New Vegas. It's called the Atomic Wrangler Casino, and is in a unmarked location on the map called Freeside, which is one of the first main cities you go to a few hours into the game. So he's getting kicked out of this window. Why is he getting kicked out? I don't know, but the building design, even on the outside, looks pretty similar to the games. The sign looks just about exactly the way it's designed, although in this shot you can't see the atomic part. But then below, it almost looks underneath him, under the dirty, junky, crap-covered ground. It looks like there's people walking beneath. And here's a pretty crazy shot of Maximus running through the desert with a companion in power armor, but it's not the same power armor from before. It doesn't have the scratch on the front of it from the Yao Guai, but it looks like, I'm not saying this is the Pridwin like I was saying from Fallout 4. It's the exact same design, but it might not be called that. There's more blimps, or whatever you want to call them, around, and it almost looks like from the angle that they were fighting or shooting each other in some reason. Like maybe at the end of season 1, it seemed like the Elder wanted to create a splinter group away from Brotherhood of Steel. Possible that they're maybe gone rogue in some way with their very own blimp that they stole or whatnot. Did they attack his own blimp and it's crashing and they're running away? Where are they actually going? Maximus has a gun in his hand. So who's attacking them? Are they being attacked by their own kind? Did these blimps get taken over by pirates or something? Why is the one that he's in crashing? Or was that even one that he was in? Maybe it wasn't. But there is one crashing behind him. And him and his power armor pal, perhaps the one we saw earlier flying in the plane, are trying to run away. And in this shot here, it looks like Vault 31 isn't doing too well. As you can see, there's a 31 on the back, and this is from when the Vault 33 split up after they got attacked, and they split up to 31 and 32, or 31 and 33, and 32 is still empty, I believe. But yes, they are being attacked and overrun by rad roaches. So were they is there an infestation of rad roaches happening that they're not aware of? Like, they're just moving into Vault 31 and they didn't realize that it had a really bad rat roach problem. But from a wider shot, you can see someone's actually on the floor, and are they dead? But are the rad roaches this bad that they're killing people? Because, you know, if they didn't suck at life, they could just take out their laser and go into vats and take them out with a couple shots. But then there's some guy right here at the chair who maybe is trying to fend them off, maybe trying to help protect whoever's on the good ground. Maybe that's his wife, and she's being attacked and he's trying to save her. But everyone else is a bunch of pussies and they're running away. Or they're attacking something else down there, but it looks like they're running away because they are not prepared whatsoever for any type of attacks by anyone. Clearly shown in, they're all running away like a bunch of wimps. Some quick little shots here as tiny little clips start ramping up near the end. The crescendo of the trailer. We see the ghoul shooting at someone we don't really know, but it looks again like Lucy's just kind of hesitant to shoot anyone, at least in this scenario. But are they in Freeside? Are they in New Vegas? Where are they right now? Or are they in Novak? Hard to say. I think they're in Freeside, if I was to guess. If that even is Freeside, or the show's version of Freeside. Then another close-up of Victor. I'm assuming it's Victor, but why is Victor attacking anyone? Maybe he's just on guard as a security, because that's what he does. But in the game, Victor was friendly to you, but whoever he's attacking right now, are they someone who's not friendly to Victor, or is Victor not a good robot in this version? And as we can see from a different angle, if that was in fact who Victor's shooting at, is someone in power armor, but it's not the other armor again. It's not Maximus's armor or whoever's armor you want to say it is, because you don't see the scratches on it. So who is this power armored character? Is it just kind of a side character of the Brotherhood of Steel who's trying to get in somewhere, and for whatever reason Victor is attacking it? If it is in Victor, but you can see his outline clearly right there with the one wheel, just like in the games. He's shooting at him. The face isn't really clear, but it's the exact same design. So it's definitely not easy to see if there's a smiley cowboy face on there, or his expression will change while he's doing stuff. It's a long tube on the back of this power armor, and it doesn't even really look familiar to me as a weapon. Maybe it's just a gigantic pipe. I don't see why someone in power armor would want to be using a... If I had to guess, it could be a super sledge, but I don't think that someone with power armor even really needs to carry one of those around. You can just carry around a big old arm cannon or something. But perhaps if this is a rogue group of Brotherhood of Steels, maybe they don't have the proper weapons that they normally would have access to. Another unusual shot from afar in one of the vaults. It's hard to see behind them if what number is on their back, if it's 33 or 32. From the angle I'm seeing, it's not 30. It's definitely not 31. It's 32 or 33. And they're at some kind of party. What exactly the party is for? It's possible it's a welcome to our new vault, because that looks like looks like Ella Purnell's Lucy's character's friend from season 1, and then the other guy, Chet or whatever his name was, Brad. I don't know, that guy that ended up going out with her just because she had a baby and her husband died. But it's weird in the shot because they're doing this weird spinny turning thing. And are they dancing? Are they having some kind of weird party? Just the way they're spinning is kind of unusual. Maybe they decided that this vault is going to be the party fun vault, and that's all we're ever going to do is have fun. Here's something that I'm actually really happy to see, and is a surprise to me, but this is definitely a rad scorpion, which are SOBs in the games. But I lightened that image up so you get a better look at it. You can see the claws, you can see the legs. What exactly it's doing, I'm not really sure, but I can see the claws, maybe a little bit of eye. But these things are kind of jerks. They bug the crap out of me in the game. They'll pop up out of the ground, attack you, go back down, pop up again. They're jerks. But I didn't know there's going to be rad scorpions, and that's awesome, and I love this. So it looks like they're indoors, not outside. So where is this coming from? It's attacking someone. Is it just kind of, did Lucy and or the ghoul go inside a building and the rad scorpion came out of nowhere? And it's basically they're ambushing them? I don't know, but I love seeing this. This is awesome. Here we see that Lucy is getting the hang of shooting people and killing people. And they're just outside Topps Casino, which is one of the casinos in New Vegas. And the ghoul and Lucy are just shooting people. And Dogmeat's down below doesn't seem to be doing much, just kind of chilling. Are these just more random people that are attacking them? It's probably a ghoul. The face from this angle looks a little ghoulish, so it could be just random ghouls attacking them, which is something that happens pretty regular. So the ghoul has a knife in his hand and Lucy is shooting, so who's attacking who? Lucy just blew this guy off, but this person over here is got shot off the roof as well. So who shot them? Did the ghoul shoot him? No, because the ghoul doesn't have a gun in his hand. So did Lucy take out both these ghouls like bang bang? Is she like becoming a more skilled rifle person, as she should? Like, to go along with the games, the more you do a thing, the better you get. So just like in life, the more she shoots people, the better she gets at it and the less she feels about it. So it's like the ghoul and Lucy are turning into each other. And then we have this really cool slow-mo shot of Lucy firing a bullet that looks like it's a hollow tip split type bullet. And is this the reverse angle of her shooting that guy? Because it kind of looks like a bullet designed to shred the crap out of someone. Or did she somehow shoot both these dudes with one bullet? Judging from the other angle, it almost looks like maybe she was somehow able to shoot them both with one bullet. And it almost looks like it could split off in the middle and then perhaps inside there's an explosive bullet. This could be ammo that's directly from the games that I'm not really catching on right now, but behind her, more beat up buildings, some kind of trailer. Not sure if there's somebody there right now just chilling and watching, or that's just something that looks like a person. But Lucy still got her Pip-Boy, so she use that regularly. But she has a newer weapon here. It looks like a shotgun. Either the ghoul gave that to her or she found it. It'd be cooler if she found it, just like in the games, you find weapons everywhere. And then here, the last shot after the title again, we see the shot of a Deathclaw. Yes, a Deathclaw, those big scary bastards from all the games. The image close up, I lightened it again, and at first I couldn't tell what I was looking at all from that angle, but when you lighten it up, extreme close up of the face, you can just see the eyes. You can see the left eye and a little bit of the right eye, but it's very close up, so you can't get a good look at it, but sure, if you pull back, you have the big giant horns that they always have. But exactly how tall this thing is going to be in relation to them, I'm really hoping that up close this is practical. I think it could potentially be practical for up close shots, and then it snorts and a little bit of cold air comes out. So either that's cold air or just like snot, because they're in Las Vegas, New Vegas, where it's hot and dry. So I don't see why it would be cold air.
What do you about what to do in this situation?
And lastly, we have the final few shots of the trailer with Lucy and the ghoul just running away from the Deathclaw. Though we don't see the Deathclaw at all behind them in full. But Lucy and the ghoul are running, and where are they right now? They're likely in New Vegas, but why would there be... When you play the game, there's no Deathclaws hanging around inside of New Vegas. They're only on the outskirts. But these two shots almost feel like a waste of a shot because they're running away. Like obviously they're running away from a Deathclaw. Why do we need two full shots wasted from a trailer to show them doing that? Because here he's running, and it looks like he's running up towards the fence, the ghoul. And is this a fence they're trying to get through to get away from the attacking Deathclaw? And then the final image, we finally get an official release date, December 17th, which is a Wednesday. So Wednesday is a weird day to release a show. I don't know. Usually it's like Tuesday or Thursday. I don't really recall many shows being released Wednesday, or if it was released on Wednesday last year. But considering that this show, season 1 came out in April last year, and now here we are, like a year and a half away, and we're already getting season 2, and I love it, and I can't wait. That there was my, as best I could do, breakdown. A lot of it is based on what I go by memory, but I did take a moment to look things up. It may not be accurate at all. It could be terrible. But if you're watching this, please let me know in the comments anything I got wrong, or things that you noticed I didn't notice, or how excited you are for December 17th. Now we have an official day. Just a week before Christmas. So Prime's probably hoping that people are going to watch the show during Christmas. They're like, hey, we're bored. Whatever you do, let's go on Prime. Hey, what's this show called Fallout? This looks pretty cool. But are they going to drop the entire season at once this time? I doubt it. I don't think they will. I think they're going to do a little bit, maybe one at a time or two at a time, which is a new thing now. They drop 2 or 3 at a time, or at least the first day of the release on December 17th. They could release 2 episodes and then one at a time for the rest. But I couldn't be more excited, even though the trailer itself, it didn't underwhelm me, but it was just kind of whelmed. I'm not over or under it, I'm just whelmed. Once again, don't forget to take a moment to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. But above all else, don't forget to keep gaming.